Triple SR. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's 4 SRs. And some of them are good. So let's limit break now. Heishi Amazon is good. That is limit break 3. That is very useful. Biwa is okay. Wet and outer post. It's useless. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna use Biwa. King Halo, limit break 2. Now she is usable. Probably gonna get her. I just need to keep track of the fan. I need to check this now. Where is this? What is my deck? Yay. Windy. Sweep Tosho. Zero B. Mayano. Great limit break. King Halo, limit break 2. Wait, how much is this already? Fan count. Okay, this is 10, 13, 20. So 43, I need 7%, I think, from something. What is my other card? Manhattan Cafe. I believe she has fan count. She does, so that is enough if I want to run this. What am I running right now? Asian Flash. Kinda like Asian Flash because of the event though. Max energy and mood up. Then the second chain event is 15 energy, I believe. So that's really good, but King Halo, man. Okay, so limit break 2 King Halo will be 5 turning effectiveness, which is okay. What is this? Oh, it doesn't go up anymore. It really doesn't go up anymore. And at 2 limit break, I get the power bonus already, which is so good. Initial friendship gauge is pretty good. Specialty priority is pretty good. Is the highest from my speed cards. Hit level 2 is fine. In frequency is okay. Friendship at 22. Friendship mood. Speed bonus at 2. Power bonus at 4. Man. Okay, this is far better than anything else. But first, we need to do something else. Super cards. Storage. Going to sell this card. Sell this card. Sell this card. Because I'm never gonna use them. Sell this card. Okay. Now, you might think that I'm only selling those cards because this 3-week challenge account. But this is the same thing that I do on my actual main account. I have sold certain super rares, certain SSRs, certain normals. So this is pretty much the same thing that I did on my account. I buy the SR guaranteed. I buy 2. Okay. Let's use this bow. This one goes first. Oh wow. Oh wow. Is that not max limit break? It is max limit break. That is insane. Now let's do the 2 normal tickets. Oh wow, Agnes Digital, that is so good. This is whatever. We do the 5 scouts. Nice nature. Major Ryan. Super quick. Okay, that gives me way more options. Okay, let's see what I have right now. That's 13. Those are good options. Okay, Agnes Zero, I'm absolutely gonna do it because she has really good mile skills. Now we do... Oh wow, I was wrong then. It's only limit break 3. Damn, I thought that I was already max limit break. Sucks, but whatever. Okay, now I need to level up King Halo. Sport cards deck. We'll replace Asian Flash with King Halo. I haven't done a single team trial so far, by the way. Let's auto select. Let me just do 2 or 3 team trials and then I'll do my run. Okay, let's do that run. Set I will run. Let me change this. Okay. We do stamina 3. It has a hand too. So that's really good. That skill I'm never gonna want to get. Prudent Precision. I mean, I can get it if I really want to do a front runner, but I really don't want to on most situations. Because it's really hard to build a front runner. You need groundwork, you need several green skills, you then need mid-game skills to keep the first place. You also need Seiyun Sky unique. And make sure that you can be first by the time the corner almost ends and whatnot. So this is not going to be useful. It would be really good if I had Smart Falcon, because she has so many good skills to keep first, and that way you can block out anyone else from getting first. Well, that's about it. So yeah, it's not going to be an option. Now right here I go stamina 3 again, and for the most part I'm not going to be checking power, guts or wit, because I really need to increase the training level so that I can have the accounts, so that I can have the stats that I need to win the races. So I'm going to do stamina with 3 cards again. This get no extra training. You go for energy. You almost always want to go for energy, because the top one is +5 of one stat that you just train. In this case will be stamina, but it also costs 5 energy. The bottom option is +5 energy, so the total energy difference for this is 10. So you're effectively paying 10 energy for just 5 of one stat, and 10 energy is pretty much half the cost of any training. So you go bottom. The main reason you got top is if you are almost capped out and you are worried to be wasting energy events from cards or whatever. So right here I have nothing on speed, nothing on stamina, 2 on power, 3 on wit. You can either go power here because there's a hand, so these hints don't really matter. These skills. Wet condition is fine, competitive spirit is fine, prepare to pass is fine, but they're not game changing. And with 3 is fine, but both options are just to increase the bond level, which is not the biggest deal right now. So instead I'm going to be doing recreation. Okay, that was only +1, but that's fine. This gives me energy, so because I did not get that much from the recreation event, then I'm not capped out, which is pretty good. So this is speed with 3, stamina with 2, power with 2, now these are decent skills. You have straightaway adept, you have corner adept, and straightaway recovery. All 3 are good, but I care more about these stats right now because the goal is to get 200 by the time that the build race happens, so that you can guarantee a win, and then you want 300 by the time December approaches, so that you can win as a high futuristics or the other one, the Philios one, and that way you can also get hopeful stakes. 2 0 1 3 1. So I go speed here. Again we go bottom. I wasn't looking at the chat, sorry. So this challenge is taking a completely new account into Champions meeting. The goal is to get to Group A finals. Yeah, completely new account. I made this account about 5 days ago or something, but this is only the 3rd play playing on it. No, it's just my account. I have a main account, which I got Group A finals on Taurus Cup, 2nd place. Then I got 1st place on Gemini Cup. But because there are so many random guides that you see online that say, hey, do this in order to win Champions meeting, right? Like, that is the main type of content that you see. But the suggestions that they give are so unrealistic that you are not going to be able to get that on any account that hasn't played from launch, pretty much. Because they can suggest something like use the first event special week speed card, and that is not an option for anyone that started playing after the 2nd week of the game, which is around the time that the first event ended. Yeah, absolutely, I can look at your UMA if you want. Just post it on chat, an image of the UMA or whatever, and I can tell you how it's going to perform. Okay, let me see your ED. But yeah, this is mainly a challenge just to showcase that even though having better cards and whatever makes everything easier, the main thing is decision making within your run, so that you can have better options. So Hishi Amazon, this is the one that you want me to look at. Let me look at something first. Here, first, let me show you something. Hishi Amazon, this is her stat page on GameTora if you ever want to use it, if you haven't. So here's the unique. The unique applies on a corner. Wait. It applies after the final corner, my bad. Here, let's look at the conditions. Is final corner. That means that you have to be after the final corner. Corner equals 0, it means it is not a corner. That means it has to be a straight. Right? Is behind it. Is this is a really weird condition, because it's a comparison between you and the ones, the woman next to you, compared to the fence. And then order right is just how far, in which position you are, pretty much, right? So the reason I say this is because if you want to activate the unique, you're going to be requiring certain skills that put you in that position. So let's look at yours. You have curvature, which is fine. It's a very consistent skill that you're going to be getting to the mid game, right? Go with the flow. Hold on. Go with the flow gives you movement on late race, and for that let me show you the actual skill. Because this is the type of skill that ends up being a waste of points. So it says increases navigation. What it does is increase lane movement speed. This is not that useful. You probably had better options than go with the flow, right? Because this skill is only going to be helping you move left and right, let's say, which is not that great if you are already blocked. Because if you are getting already you are getting blocked when you want to use this, you're going to have to waste any speed boost that you have at this moment. You're going to be wasting acceleration that you have at this moment. You're going to be wasting stamina as well, because you have to spend a little bit more in order to move sideways. So a better option compared to go with the flow, right? It's Nimble Navigator is a better version of go with the flow. Obviously the access to these skills is a little bit different, but if you get blocked, right here it says, if you get blocked near the end of the race, because it has to be last spurt, you're going to be getting acceleration as well on top of the lane movement speed. So you get both things. The main thing with go with the flow is that it can activate a little bit earlier, but it's usually not going to be the game changer. You can probably get a acceleration skill, stamina recovery skill, or a speed skill that becomes more useful than go with the flow. So Masterful Gambit is pretty good. This one is strategist you don't want to get. Field of view skills are very awkward. It's not a bad skill, go with the flow, but it's not the best option that you can have. Because as I said, Nimble Navigator is a better option because you get a speed buff and acceleration buff as well at the same time. And you're only getting the skill for the same reason that you will get go with the flow. The main advantage with Go with the Flow is that I can activate a little bit earlier than Nimble Navigator. But usually you're going to be able to find better uses for skill points. Because right now in URA scenario, we are not going to be having a lot of skill points available. So it's something that you always have to keep in mind. In most runs, you're going to be getting about 1000 skill points, maybe 1500 or something, which is fine to make a build, but that also means that you cannot afford to use too many points in skills that aren't the best. So that's an issue that happens, and it's just something that you're going to be having to figure out as you go, which skills are worth the points, which ones you take because there's no other option. Like for example, strategist and I can see through you are two skills that you absolutely don't want to get. The only exception is if you are using debuffs that have field of view. So Nimble Navigator is still fine. It's not the best option. However, the field of view skills are absolutely not. Good options to get. They're pretty much wasted skill points. So instead of this, you could get pretty much anything else, and the build will be so much better. Standing by is pretty consistent. The only condition here is mid-race, so that's pretty good. You can always get that. Straight away recovery is a little bit luck based because you can activate the moment that the race starts, because most races start on a straight. So race starts, you start running, straight away recovery can activate instantly, which means that you're not going to recover pretty much any recovery cooldown whenever like on Ruffle, you never want to get because it's so impossible to activate. Corner recovery is the most consistent recovery, so that's pretty good. Now, here's the thing that I'm going to say. Ishi Amazon, you have a but this stamina stat you're going to get with around 800 and for long you're going to want more and you're going to want to go to 5. That is the recovery effect that they have. Because right here, let me show you. If we look at recovery skills, and we can just take whichever, let's look Gorman and Hydrate. Hydrate only recovers 15%. I mean 1.5%. 1.5%. They only recover 1.5. If we look at the upgraded version, which is the gold version of Hydrate called Gorman, it is 5.5. So that's about 3.5 times the effect of the white version. So if possible, you want to get gold skills over more whites. Because in your situation, you have straightaway recovery, standing by, and corner recovery. That is 3 white skills. But it will be the same if you get Maestro, for example. Right? You cannot get Maestro with this cards, but that is fine. It's just an example. So if you can get Breath of Fresh Air over straightaway recovery, Maestro over corner recovery, I don't remember the one for standby. Hold on. Sleeping Lion. Well, that is only going to be getting Narita Taishin, so that's not really an option. But that is the type of thing that you have to think about. If you want to do more efficient use of your skill points, you want to give priority to gold skills, at least on recovery. It's a little bit more situational when we talk about acceleration skills or speed skills. But when it comes to recovery skills, you want to get the gold recovery version of reliable recovery skills as much as you can. That is why, because you have to do the gold version of recovery. That whenever I'm you're going to be going with a which that's big. There's a lot to lecture on this game. But that is not the point, because, for example, I played on the Japanese server for a while. I joined a club and I am still in that club. We just stayed in contact on Discord when Global came out. We made the club together and we still talk and everything. But at the same time, when Global came out, I got a friend into the game and he was completely new. He knew nothing about the game. So I explained him most things. But you always have to keep in mind, you don't want to overwhelm anyone, because that is just annoying. So it's best to do explanations in a simple way, and if they ever feel like getting more information, more details, then they'll ask. Because I'm just giving you a basic explanation on the skills, right? On these skills. But if we go way deeper, you're going to be having situations like, okay, these skills only activate within this time frame, so you're going to be wanting to use certain combinations of skills to maximize the effect. Then certain uniques, one certain positions requirements, or maybe the only proc in certain distance point you want to see last one. So the last mask, and if you have with you don't have access to the tier parts that way, but really the chance for you to get this one right here, you create 100. So in this case, your power is also done. You want to do that's 600. Now you have a chance. Then after that, the next threshold is 1100. And at that point, you have to make the first decision. Okay, do I want just one skill at 1100, or do I want multiple skills at 600? Because you have to remember, at the end of the run, it will always be at 1 in 5 chance to get a specific stat. In this run, you got stamina out of the 105. If you had gotten a speed or power, maybe this will be a 2-star version of the blue spark, right? On the other hand, if you had done, let's say, a little bit less power training and did stamina training maybe twice more, then you will have over 600 stamina. And that gives you a chance to get a 3-star stamina here and a slightly higher chance to get a 2-star version. So that is the type of decision you have to make. If you're really the run now you need 16th place or something, that's how you to that run the goal. And okay, this has been off. There's always a good better. Let's turn it. So we need to see you start verifying, need 600 speed, 600 stamina, 600 power. And that was how it will be run. And between that, we're also good they get a better parent for your future. Learn as well. You will use your better parents and you get even better. Right? Here, let's go through it once more. It's really high. From these you are, if you want to know everything, you get is an even option. With my past, this map, super. This is also no, there's certain that I from things. Also, I'm good you want to see 30, you get range 5, you can and even right. All that happens. There was always a question if you can share, you can share, you can skill, one more. Right? Then go with the other here. So, Master Gambit is really good. It's one option that you have to field of views you have, I can see through you, and strategists are just something you don't want to get on the run. This will be certain that you at the skill list on Game Tora, you're going to be able to see the requirements and conditions for the skill. So I'll see nice, which is the nice nature debuff skill that you get from potential 3, I think, either 3 or 5. It says right here, target all enemies within the field of view. So if you get something like, also keep in mind that it's late surger requirement. So if you get something like late surger savvy, it increases her width and increases her field of view. Something like that will be really useful on a nice nature that it only cares about getting this skill off, right? But in most other cases, you don't really care about field of view. Okay, so I'll go back to the run for now. Now speed with 4, absolutely go speed with 4. Now at this point I have to think about resting, because I don't have that much energy, so only something really good happens, I'll probably have to rest. This is the Mammo. Top option is Calm in the Crowd, which is a really bad skill, you never want to get that skill. And bottom option is Stamina plus 5 with plus 5, so you want to go for the bottom option. Speed nothing, Stamina 1, Power 2 with 2, nothing that great, so I'm just going to rest. And I got well rested, which is really good. Top one is mood, bottom one is max energy. I'll go bottom one because I still have the Asian Flash Reverse Chain event, and I also have Kitas and Black, so that's a lot of sources for mood up. Stamina 2, I'm going to go Stamina 2. With 3, you can go with 3, but again, the goal that I have is to increase the training level. So I'm going to be going speed with 3 here for the same reason. Right now, I need one more stamina training to get to level 2, I believe, and one more to get speed 2. So that is the priority right now. And getting the other stat is not going to be helping me win, at least not in the scenario. They're more useful in PvP situations. So that is speed 2. And here's the Asian Flash event. This is why I rather go for the max energy, because I still had multiple sources for a mood up. So right here I go stamina with 2, and this is probably going to be level 2 stamina. Extra training, we go for the bottom option as I said before, and that was the stamina 2. Okay, so these two are not that great. This is the type of turn that you could go for width, but I'm going to go for rest instead, because I really want to get 300 for December, because I want to run both races that come in December. So right here we do the debut race. We are going to switch the strategy to front racer, because that is the easiest way to win in most situations, especially when your stats are low. So that is a win on the debut. Now this is going to be a waste of energy, which kinda sucks, but whatever. Speed 2, stamina 2, I could do either, but I'm going to be doing speed. because Sweep Toshu is almost very close to orange bar. So I might as well try to push that faster. Stamina with 4, I'm absolutely going to go stamina with 4. Speed with 3, stamina with 2, power 2 and nothing else. So right here I could go either, but I'm going to go speed right here. The main reason is that you also want to increase the bone level with the reporter and president, not only so that you can get the unique skill level up, but also so you can get the extra stats at the end of your AA. That's 2 with 2. Now right here I could go with speed with 2, but 14% failure chance for only 22 stats. It's not that worth it. There's also no hint or anything, so no real reason to gamble on it. First event of Kita-san Black. And that, on that note, that is also that you want to keep in mind. I already got both events from Asian Flash. I already got both events on Manhattan Cafe. So those are things that are not going to be available anymore. And they're not going to be included in the pool of possible events. So speed 1, stamina 2, power 2, with 2. I'm going to be going with stamina 2. Speed 1, stamina 2. Same thing again. Going to go speed stamina 2. Speed 2, stamina 2. Now here's the thing. I could go either here, right? Because if I go stamina, this is going to get the Sweep Toshu to orange. This is going to be getting Asian Flash about 1 away from orange. But you have to keep in mind that this is 23 stats. Right here it's 31. Because Kita-san Black is just worth so much. So I'm going to go speed with Kita-san Black. Also helps me get Manhattan Cafe higher. Speed with 2, stamina 1, and I don't really care about the rest. So I'm going to rest. And now, keep in mind, this is now early November. Let me check this event. Windy, first event. Speed plus 10 at the top. Energy minus 5 and skill points plus 30 at the bottom. Again, I said this in a previous run. If I had an older account with better parents, with better skill options, I would go for the bottom option to get the free skill points. Because 30 skill points for 5 energies is very efficient. However, right now the priority that I have on this brand new account, where this is I believe the 3rd run ever, I really need to get URA finishes. So I'm always going to prioritize more stats, at least until I get several options to use for. Speed 2, stamina 2. I'm going to be going for stamina 2. This is a skill hint. Skill hint is going to be increasing the bond bar a little bit. Also wet conditions is good for champions beating 3. Even though everything else kinda useless. So I got passing pro. I don't know if I'm gonna get that. Bottom option for extra training in most cases. This is late November now, so the next turn I'm gonna have to raise. That's 3 on wit, which is perfectly fine. But I'm about to raise, so I already need the stats. So I'm going to go speed with 2. This is going to get windy. 1 more trading away from orange. And 2 for Manhattan Cafe. This is also 28 stats, which is going to be coming really useful right now that I have to raise. That was speed level 3. And in this one, the top option is energy plus 10, skill points plus 10. The bottom option is the combo within getting energy plus 30 or getting slow metabolism. But it's a 90% chance to get no debuff and only 10% chance to get slow metabolism. So you usually want to go with the slow metabolism option. Now right here I only checked this. There are 3 on speed, which is really good. But I want to do races. So I'm going to get focus here. Because I don't have that many good skills to get in on this new account. There are some options, but there's nothing that I won't be able to afford in most runs. So I'm just going to get focus so I can avoid late starts, which are already gonna mess you up early into a run, because you don't have the stats to make up for it. I'm considered the first favorite, which is fine. 320 speed with 267 stamina is usually enough to win both December races. So there you go, 1.5 phases. Now, top option, if you don't like to gamble, you go top option, because you're always going to be spending 20 energy in order to get skill points and stats and so on. However, if you're trying to make the best option possible, you're going to end up falling into the situation where you have to take many gambles. Like in the previous turn where the slow metabolism event came up, you usually want to go with the slow metabolism option, because plus 30 energy is usually equal to a rest. And now at the same time you do the same with the race options. So right here you go bottom, and I got minus 20 right there, which is pretty much the average if I remember correctly. Let me just check. Okay, minus 20 is the maximum amount that you can spend in this event, but the minimum is minus 5. So there's that range. And if you go top option, it's always minus 15. But you want to take the gamble. We do the same with hopeful stakes. We do the race. I'm also first favorite right now. I have not won this race yet, so I cannot skip. So let's hope that I win right here so I can unlock the skip. And if I happen to win, I'll do the same thing and I'll go bottom option and take the gamble. Okay. I'm pretty sure I was blocked there for a good while. But that's whatever. So right here, because I did not win, now the top option is minus 20 energy, and the bottom option is minus 10 to minus 30. but I typically only gamble when I do when I win. Right, here we go, middle for my plus 20 energy. But yeah, I don't gamble if I don't get first, because minus 30 is so impactful. It pretty much guarantees that you have to rest the next turn. So to me, that's not worth it. Stamina with 3, I absolutely go stamina with 3. And we go this slow metabolism event again. And again, I go bottom option. So that's plus 30. Speed 1. Stamina 1. Right here, I'm just going to go with 1. Because there isn't anything good in the first 2 trainings. And I also get a free hand. Okay, speed with 2, stamina with 3. I could go either here. But I'm actually going to go stamina. This is going to be giving me orange bar on my hand and cafe. This is going to increase the bond with the president. It's also going to increase the bond with my Top Gun. And even though the plus 27, I think it was, speed from Sweep Tosho is good, it is not that amazing. Because right here, this is what happens. Because I got orange bar on my Haran Cafe the previous turn, now I have bigger chances to get oranges, to get friendship training. So this is something that I really care about. Usually when there's a somewhat decent training, like it was in the last turn with Flip Tosho's friendship training, I try to see if there's a different option that might not be as good at first glance, but long term it increases my options so much. So in this case, it would have been getting Manhattan Cafe to orange. So now this turn I get the friendship training with Manhattan Cafe, a hint from Windy, and I get bond levels on Asian Flash and the Reporter. Obviously it was a 6% failure chance, but that is something that you almost always want to take. 6% isn't high enough for you to worry about. If it happens, it happens. But the amount that I stand to gain from that 6% is way too much compared to the risk. So same thing, we skip here. Because this is a mandatory race, there's no top or bottom option. Unless there is a special event. Certain hidden events have top and bottom option. So right here I'm just checking what is available. We see my Top Gun with a hand. Now, if you truly want to min-max your races, you want to keep track of the hands, because every card has a certain chance to get a hand. So in average, let's say you can get 8 hints during a career per card, maybe 10. So if you are seeing hands that you are not taking, it's just less likely that more hands are going to show up later. And it's just something that is worth keeping in mind if you are hunting for certain skills. The biggest example of this will be with groundwork, for example. Okay, I got playtimes over, medium straightaways. I'm pretty much guaranteed to buy this right now. Playtime's over, I'm going to buy this because right now the only source to get this is the UN Omotegi SSR power skill card. On the second chain event, on the bottom option, you get this. So It's very unlikely that I will get this again from the second inspiration event, because I already got it once. So if I wanted to wait for a potential discount, I get this on the next year after the second event. But because I care more about actually winning races, I'm just going to get it right now. Now, same reason with medium straightaways. I'm going to be getting the first level because it's already a 30% discount. I'm hoping that these two things are enough to let me win most of the races. This mandatory Yokai show, this is a mile race, so medium straightaways is not going to be useful. And I got third here, which is, it just happens. It's fine if I don't win races, because my goal is just to finish URA. Now, Taste of Silence. Top option is stamina plus 5, skill plus 15. Bottom option is non-standard distance. If you are in a certain champions meet where non-standard distance applies, this is a good source for it. Keeping in mind that the more SSR cards you have, the more events there will be in the game for you to pull from, so it will make this a little bit less likely to get normally. But in most cases you can get it. So we go top option because I want the stats, I don't really care about non-distance. Speed with only Kita-san, so we're going to go stamina with 3. This is a friendship training with Manhattan Cafe. This is going to be getting Mayano Top Gun to green bar, which means that I will need 3 more trainings to get her to orange, which is pretty good. And also a hint for Windy, who has good skills. Wet conditions, that is pretty good for Champions Meeting 3, which is Cancer Cup. It has good ground, which applies with wet conditions. Nothing stamina. Double friendship training on speed. I'm absolutely going to take this. Power 1, Guts 1, and 4 on wet with Kita-san hint. Now, this is a really good one that you can get because this is pretty much going to get double orange. I believe this is going to be getting Asian Flash 1 away and Kita-san 1 away as well. This is going to be getting President to green, which guarantees the unique upgrade at year 3. So this is a good option. But again, I'm just going for the stats right now because plus 39 is already pretty good. Here I'm going to go with Derby because I did not win Hokasho, so there is no chance of the triple tiara. And the Derby has a slightly better spark compared to Oaks. So I won by the neck. Now that is the notice that summer is coming. Right now it's early June. Summer begins with July. So I got 2 turns to do whatever I want. And then we go to summer training. So right here there's nothing great. I'm just going to rest. But if you want to keep track of it, this is what you keep track of. Sweep Tosho has a hint. Asian Flash has a hint, right? So if you are hoping to get, let's say, standard distance for Champions Meeting 3 Cancer Cup, then if you don't get this hint, it's going to be less likely for you to get it from a hint of Asian Flash. because it's just one hint less available. Same thing if you want straightaway acceleration. Same thing if you want slipstream from Sleep Dojo. So these are really key points that if you keep track of everything, you're going to maximize your efficiency in your runs. That way you're going to be completely aware of what options you have available. Right here I'm just going to do weight training because I don't want to use energy before summer. There wasn't any training that was good enough for me to sacrifice summer trainings. Right here there's something that is worth keeping in mind. In most cases, even a full bar of energy is only 100 energy. Obviously this goes up if you get a certain max energy event like the Asian Flash first chain event, which increases it a little bit. But even then, summer training is usually not enough. You don't have enough energy to do 4 summer trainings that aren't wet, right? Because speed training is worth about 21 or something. So 21 is 63, and you're usually not going to have enough energy available to do all 3 without taking a massive gamble. Because gotta remember, it doesn't matter, the energy bar is 100. The thing is, when you reach around 30% energy, the failure chance starts to increase. So if you try to do 4 speed trainings in a row, let's say, the 4th speed training is going to have something like a 40% failure chance. You can absolutely take the gamble if you wish. In certain min-maxing runs, that is what you have to do. But in most cases, you can do 3 trainings and then 1 wet. Not in that order, but during summer you can do 1 wet any given day, and then 3 trainings of a different stat. And that is usually going to be the best option, the most efficient option. So right here I could go speed training, or I could go stamina. Either one is good. Or if you want to gamble based on specialty bonus, specialty rates, you can also go with right here, thinking, okay, it's very likely that the speed cards are going to show up again on speed because they have a very heavy specialty priority. Like right here, Kita Black has an 80% specialty priority, so it's super likely that she's going to show up again on speed the next turn. Then Sleep Dojo has something like a 45%, 35%. Then you have Windy that has 35. You have Asian Flash that has 25, but she's already on wet. Windy did not land on speed this turn, she's on stamina, so it's more likely that she will land on speed next turn. So now you have higher chance for Windy and Asian Flash to show up next turn on speed. And you have Kita Black that has 80 specialty priority, so it's very likely that she will land on speed a 3rd time. So that is a gamble you can take. Same deal with the others. You already got Manhattan Cafe here. Mayana Top Gun is on Guts. So if we look, Manhattan Cafe has a specialty priority of 35, so that's a decent chance that she can show up on stamina the next turn, but it's not that high. And Mayana Toboggan has 30, which means that it's very likely that she will show up on stamina next turn, because she did not show up this turn. So these are options that you can take depending on your priorities. So right here I'm going to go with speed, because even though a 2-card friendship training is not that high, because Kita-san does not have orange bar yet, what I want to do is increase the orange bar of Kita-san, so that going forward I can have more rainbows more often, because she has 80 specialty priority. So this is what I said. Windy was on stamina last turn. She had, what was it, 30? 35 specialty priority. So it was more likely than usual for her to show up on speed if we just run simple probability numbers. Right here Manhattan Cafe is again on stamina, which, as I said, it was kinda likely because she has 30%, 35% specialty priority. So it's about even chances for her to show up twice on stamina. Now we have Kita-san on power, nothing on guts, and 3 on wit. Right now I'm going to go wit, and this is going to get 2 cards really close to orange, which is really important. Now we can see right here there's no rainbow, so no friendship training, there's nothing on wit, so this kinda sucks. However, 3 on speed. Even though there's no friendship training, this is plus 30, because Kita-san is worth so much, and on top of that, just having another card on the training gives them a boost. So it's a 3-card boost to the training. There's that extra amount that Kita-san gives, and so on. Stamina has nothing, power has 2. And now, here's the other point. This is going to get Mayana Top Gun and Kita-san to orange. So that is 2 more sources for friendship training, which is very important. Now right here, usually there are certain exceptions. The top option is power, the bottom option is guts. Sometimes one of them is speed, sometimes one of them is guts, sometimes one of them is stamina. So if you want to make sure, you just check on Game Tora on the Yuma that you're racing. So right here, this is what I meant at the beginning. I still have about 30 energy, maybe a little bit less. I have a little bit less than 30, about 26. And right here we see the failure chance. It's pretty high, right? And this is the main reason why you are unable to do 4 summer trainings in a row, because at some point the failure chance just goes up so much. Obviously I was not full energy bar when I entered summer. I was about 90 something%, but even then, that is what's going to happen in most cases. It's rare for you to have a completely full bar going into summer, because you have to get well rested on the rest that you do before summer, usually in June. Right here I'm going to do wit. This is going to be getting Asian Flash to orange. So now I have every single card in orange, which means that no matter which cards land, it's going to be friendship training. So right here I have 2 on friendship training, on speed, Kitty's and Blackfeet Dojo. On stamina I have Windy that has max bar. On power I have 3 cards that all have orange. Right? And here President is already on green bar. So I don't need to worry about her for the unique skill level upgrade. However, it's still a point of concern that you want to max her out by the end of your A. So you can get free stats. So 15% failure chance, that is still not high enough not to take the training, because it was about 30 plus 30 HP. Second option for the energy. Right here I normally go top option. You get lucky 7. Usually I don't get it unless I have leftover points. But the top option is still free stats, and the bottom option is mood -1 for just Maverick, I believe. So if you have an use for Maverick, that's fine. But it's rare for Maverick to be able to proc. So we are now at 50% failure chance, and that is something to keep in mind. That means that even Wit has failure chance now. So I'm just checking right here. You look at the hands. There's a Manhattan Cafe hand. This means that it's going to get harder for me to get wet conditions again, Highlander. If you are running long, then long straightaways and so on. So we rest. But those are things that you're going to have to keep in track when you're actually having wanting to get specific things. So speed with 2 friendship trainings, which is fine, but you need to keep in mind I only have 363 stamina at this point in time, so I'm probably going to be having to do more stamina trainings going forward, because Daiwa Scarlet has a Ray McKinnon at the end of the run, and that is a long race that I really need stamina for to make sure that I can run this. Right? So if I had better cards, better options, is not something. Actually, the main thing, if I had better parents, because I am running this vodka from a previous run, which just has 1 star wit, which doesn't help me at all. And same thing with the grandparent, 1 star wit, doesn't help me at all. This is the rental Take Shadow that I'm using. She has 2 star power and 3 star power. So in a situation where your parents getting the first, however, in your account, that you have for or even that you do right? And so because you need to again, because in most cases, the very go having a short or one, which is the clear. So right here we go stamina with 2 friendship trainings. let's check this one. Snack advice. Stamina guts plus 5 each at the top, or stamina plus 10. Now, here's the thing. If I was going for a racer for Champions Meet, maybe even team trials, I will go for stamina plus 5, guts plus 5. Because you still want some guts. In most cases you don't want a really high amount of guts, but you never want to train it, right? So most of the guts that you're going to be getting is just from stamina training. But that is usually not enough to reach the amount that you want for, let's say, on Gemini Cup, that you wanted about 425 guts, I think it was. You're not going to be getting 425 guts just running stamina in most cases. Maybe you had guts stat growth, but you really don't want to have that. So you're going to be needing to get guts from other places. Be it from sparks, be it from the random star reward from races, or be it from events, and this is one of the events that you can get guts on. But because this is on a new account again, my priority is to finish URA and to reach 600 so that I can have a chance at a restart spark. That is very important. So Shukasho now. If I had won Okasho, then I would have run Japanese Oaks, and I believe that with Shukasho, that is the tiara, the triple tiara. So losing Okasho sucks, but it also allows you to change the race from Oaks to Japanese Derby, which matters a lot because most girls run the Japanese Derby, so that is an easy compatibility point that you can get right there in a shared win. So Queen Elizabeth Cup, same thing. We run front. And with these stats, I should be able to win all the year 2 races. Fashion advice. Top is straight away adept, bottom is stamina. I go for stamina. Now, this is what happens when you get orange bar as fast as you can without sacrificing too much, because I did not go out of my way to sacrifice stats or anything too much for orange bar. But here's the thing. Windy, Asian Flash, and Kitas and Black all have specialty priority, which means that they're more likely to land on speed than in other trainings. I was not seeing them on speed training that often, at least not together. I believe that in the whole run so far, I've only seen 3 speed cards on speed training once. And it's usually either the president, the reporter, or a stamina card showing up alongside 2 speed cards. So this was bound to happen. And again, if you keep track of that, you will be able to figure out how likely it is to get something like this later in the run. Obviously, there's always a chance, but simple probability says the more it happens, the less likely it is for it to happen again. And that is just something that you can plan with. So I'm obviously going to take it, and after this I'm going to have to rest. So we just keep track of things. Nothing on speed, makes it more likely for cards to land on speed next turn. Only one card on stamina, and it's not a stamina card, so the stamina cards are more likely to land on stamina next turn. 3 on power, there's a hint on Kitasan Black, means that it's going to be less likely to get a hint going forward from Kitasan Black. 3 on Guts, and 1 on Wit. Now, this is something worth keeping in mind. Etsuko is only at the... it's at 1.2 of the bond bar. So either I get events from her when doing races, or I have to chase her in training in order to increase the bond level. Because if I cannot increase it high enough, by the time the run ends, I will not be getting the plus 5 out stats and plus 30 skill points, whatever it is, after GRA finals. Plus 5 out stats is not that much, but it's still free stats, so it's something to keep in mind for. So right here, top option is stats, bottom option is Lone Wolf. However, if you go bottom option, you also lose one mood, which in most cases it will suck ass. But keep in mind the date. It's late December of year 2. That means that I'm going to be getting the New Year's Shrine event, and then after that I'm going to be getting the raffle. So I'm going to go bottom option with Lone Wolf, and I'm just going to hope to get mood up from the raffle. And if I cannot, there's a next one that is the unique skill level upgrade from the President being green bar that also gives a mood up. It will be better if I get the mood up from the raffle, because that will be right away, but even then there's a backup option, so I can do either. So speed 1 means that it's even more likely now for Kita-san, for example, to land on speed next turn, because she has it two turns in a row. You have this situation as well, where neither stamina card has landed on stamina 2 turns in a row, so it's more likely now. You have the situation with Etsuko, and you have Wit. So right here, there are two things that I can do. I can do either stamina, or I can go power or guts. Guts kinda sucks, but you will have you will be doing it for the bone points for Etsuko, and power you'll be doing because there are 2 cards there and you want the bone points on the present. I'm going to go power, even though it's only half the stamina gain from compared to Kita-san stamina training. We go top for the plus 30 energy. Now again, if you keep track, nothing on speed means that it's super likely now for Kita-san to land here. She has 80 specialty priority. She has not landed on speed 3 turns in a row. Now stamina, you have 2 speed cards on stamina, not a single stamina card. It's very likely that they're going to land next turn here. Same thing goes for Asian Flash. It's more likely for her to land on speed now. So right here I'm going to go stamina. I want the bone points on Etsuko. There's a free hint on Windy. And it's also going to get closer to increasing the stamina training level. Raffle gives me the mood up, which just show that it was a really good timing to get Lone Wolf from the Sweep Social second chain event. And here's the thing, as I said, now Windy shows up on speed, and you have 3 cards on stamina, 2 of them being speed cards, so it's more likely for them to show up on speed now. And Manhattan show up on speed, so it's more likely for her to show up on stamina next turn. So right here I'm going to go stamina. Someone's going to get it to level 5 training. Also plus 31 is pretty good. And stamina is a little bit cheaper in energy than speed. Just look at the bar at the top. It's pretty much the same because of the card that I have on the trainings, but I want to do speed next turn because I am gambling on Kita-san plus Asian Flash on being here. So let's see how that goes. We do stamina with 3, 5 friendship training. Now Manhattan shows up on stamina, because we had seen that she had not show up on stamina for like 4 or 5 turns in a row. On speed we have Kita-san Black now, which as I said was very likely for it to happen. But now, here's the other thing. Is it worth doing either training right now? If you look at my bar, I am about 55, maybe 60 energy. This means that if I do a training right now, the failure chance goes up for next turn. So this completely depends on the person. This is the type of decision making that you have to make. But these are the options. You do either a stamina or speed training right now, leaving your bar to about 35 or something. This means that you're probably going to have about 10% failure chance next turn, I think. Something like that. And then at the same time, if let's say 3 speed cards land here, next turn you're almost going to be forced to do a training, even if it has a high failure chance. At the same time, you're also going to really hate having to rest next turn, because you're going to have to rest on a turn where you could have done a 3 rainbow training, which really sucks whenever you see that. The other option is resting right now. For some people it will be doing weight, for example. I don't really care about that. So that you can have more energy for the next few turns that seem very likely to have 2 or 3 rainbow trainings. Now that is what I'm going to do, just to showcase what I mean. Obviously all of this is just plain statistics, probability. So either approach is fine, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Right here I go bottom option because I already have max energy and max mood, so there's no point. And right here there's not a single rainbow train. You have no one speed, only Asian Flash on stamina, 3 on power, 2 on weight. Right? So I'm going to go power to get the bond points on Etsuko. I got the hand on Flip Toshu, which is fine. If you can get Sleep Stream, that's pretty good. And now we have only Windy for Rainbow Speed. You have 2 on stamina, but neither one is a stamina card. 2 on power, Asian on guts, and the percent on wit. So I'm going to go speed for the rainbow training. From the hand I got stats, that is speed level 4. Now this is my Professor Curvature. Level 3 hand, that's pretty good. Going to buy that right now. I could try to get the corner adept hand discounts. I don't think I have that on parents. Yeah, I don't. You can get it from Mayana Top Gun and from Kitasen herself. But I don't really care. I'd rather try to win right now. Could go medium straightaways again. I'll buy Lone Wolf though. Lone Wolf and Professor. This is usually enough to win Osaka High. That is with 3 horse lengths. So that's pretty good. Now, why did I not buy medium straightaways? Even though it already has a hint level 3 at 30% discount. This is because the next turn is early April, which is the second inspiration event. There's no reason for me to just take the skill right now if I can already win the race. So might as well hope for a bigger discount. I got Hell High and I did not get a bigger discount on the medium straightaways. Well, that's fine because I did not need the skill to win. There's not a single rainbow right now. So this time I'll actually do it. I could rest instead, but it's whatever. It's the same idea. Now I have 1 on speed only. There's Tenosho Spraying, which I cannot run because it's long and I don't have the stamina for that. I also don't have recoveries. Gotta keep in mind, this is the 0 potential Daiwa, because this is a new account. And you don't have that many resources to push forward with potential straight away. I'm going to do speed, because there's nothing on stamina. 1 speed, 1 stamina. So in this turn, early May, I can either do Victoria Mile or I could go rest. Either option is fine. Just keeping in mind, Yasuda Kinen is also coming, which will be the same situation, where you can raise, maybe train. But keep in mind, my energy is not that high. I already have a 13% failure chance. So if something were to happen where 3 speed cards or something show up on speed, I'm not going to be able to do the training if I spend energy right now. But I'm going to do Victoria Mile. I should be able to win this. 4 horse lengths. So I'm doing really good. It gives me the event with Atsuko, which is nice. Gives me some bond points, stats, and so on. It also gives me a mood up, but I was already max mood, and I got the mood down event afterwards, which sucks. Now I have 2 on speed, 1 on stamina with 2 other supports, which is what I meant. Because there was only 1 on speed stamina, it was very likely for there to be something better the turn after, right? So now I can either gamble I'm getting this training with a 46% failure chance, or I can go rest. And in this case, I go rest. But some other people might be willing to take that gamble. Now, there's not a single rainbow here. So, here are the options. I can go power with 2. I can go with 4. I can go rest. I can go recreation. Or I can go race. Right? In this case, I'm just going through. I wanna rest. However, I also want the mood, so I'm just going to go recreation. That only gave me a little bit of energy. And now, here's the thing. This is late June. Next turn is the beginning for summer. And you have this training with double rainbow and 2 more supports. Plus 52 speed, plus 23 power, and so on. I think this is gonna leave it 1 training away from level of high speed. There's nothing on stamina, nothing on power, blah blah blah. So you can either go race, do the training, rest right now. But keep in mind that if you do this training, you're going to start with this amount of bar for summer, which is really low, which means that you're going to have to rest in summer. And because of that, the previous turn would have been a waste too. Because summer gives a little bit less energy on rest, but also gives +1 mood. So you saw the last turn wasn't a waste. I'm going to rest. So now I enter summer with max energy, max mood. Just as a reminder, mood increases the training effects too. So because of that extra mood that I have, I'm going to have +10% compared to only having the good mood that I had before recreation. I also have max energy, so I can actually do 4 summer trainings without having to rely on wit. Obviously the 4th training is going to be having a chance to fail, but that is something that I can make the decision as we go. If it's worth doing the 4 trainings or just doing 1 wit at some point. So right here we have 1 rainbow with 3 cards. Nothing on stamina. Nothing on wit. So right here, even if I didn't want to do this training, there's nothing else that is worth it. Stamina is empty. There's only 1 in power. There's nothing on guts. There's no one on wit. And even if there was someone on wit, I'm already max energy. So it would just be a waste, because I would only get a little bit of wit and no energy. So now we see that there's no rainbow. So this is probably the turn that I'm going to do wit, unless many cards landed on stamina. So even without the rainbow, because it's a level 5 training, that would still be pretty good. It will be around +30. Nothing on speed. Only 1 on stamina, 2 on power, 3 on guts. So I'm going to do wit. He doesn't have a card. Doesn't matter at this point, because what I'm doing is energy management. Now we have rainbow, and we have a hint. There's only 1 on wit, nothing on guts, nothing on power. So what does this mean? If all 6 cards show up, then 5 of them are going to be split here. The best thing will be if Asian Flash with Toshio and Gita-san are on speed, or if Manhattan Cafe I mean, yeah, Manhattan Cafe and Mayana Top Gun are both on stamina with someone else. So let's see what happens. We have both stamina cards on stamina, and we have the 3 speed cards on speed. So now, what do we take? This is going to be completely up to you, depending on your priorities, on your states, whatever. Because you have to keep in mind, speed is good, but my stamina isn't bad, but also isn't amazing. If this was a PvP horse, just having 500 stamina would be too low. But because the goal is just to finish the scenario and win your A finals, then you can do that with about 600 stamina. So I'm going to go speed, because you also have to keep in mind, if I can reach 1100 speed, then it's a better chance to get a 3-star spark. Also, we saw that I got Slipstream on that turn, which is pretty good, but kinda useless on Frontrunner. So I can get the skill, but it's usually not going to come in play during campaign for a Frontrunner. However, if I get the skill, I can get there's a chance to get the skill spark at the end of the run. So that is something that is worth keeping in mind, in case I have leftover skill points at some point. I can get the skill once the run ends. So right now, late August, this is the last summer training, and we see right here one stamina card with these 2 speed cards. I'm going to do the speed training, you see what else is there. Asian Flash and Power, Manhattan on Guts, and Kita-san on Speed. So we do stamina. Now next turn, it's almost guaranteed that I have to rest. I absolutely have to rest after that. Let's just look. Kita-san on Speed, Mayano on Stamina, 1-1 on Power, Fliptosho, and we have the other 2 right here on Wit. So let's analyze once more. What is likely to happen? It's likely for Aishin to show up on Speed, likely for Fliptosho to show up on Speed, it's likely for Wendy to show up on Speed, it's likely for Manhattan to show up on Stamina. It's also likely for Mariano to show up on anything else, and it's even chances for Kita-san to show up on anything. So let's rest and let's see what happens. Dance lesson, usually one is speed and one is guts, depends on the UMA. You can check on Game Tora right here, bottom is speed. Sometimes it can be power, sometimes it can be something else. So right here we see Manhattan on speed. Last turn she was in power, so it's even likelier for her to show up on stamina next turn. Etsuko's here, Etsuko is just random, there's no weight on her, so she can show up whenever, whatever. Stamina only has President. So what are the speed cards? Asian Flash and Power. Mayana Top Gun, last turn she was on Stamina, right now she's on Guts. And Fliptosho is on Guts. Kita-san Black is on the Wit. So once again, let's think about the next turn. What is likely to happen? Kita-san on Speed. Mayano going back to Stamina. Fliptosho now has 2 turns that has not been on Speed, so it's even likelier for her to show up on Speed. Same thing for Asian Flash. Same thing for Wendy, that is not here. Wendy is more likely now to show up on Speed. Manhattan is now likely to show up on Stamina. right? So now, what do we do? You could do it if you want, because there isn't a good option here. Speed with 2, it's kinda whatever because there's no friendship training. Even though you get bond points on Netsuko. Same thing on stamina, only doing it to get some bond points on President isn't that great. And the others are kinda useless anyways. So this is technically a dead turn. So you can rest, you can wait, you can recreation, you can race. However, because of the date being late September, there is no G1 race right now that you can do. There's only sprinter stakes, but die-wise F on sprint. So it's not an option for a lot of Umas really to the race right now. Same thing tomorrow, you will have to wait until the mandatory Tenosho Autumn. So what I'm going to do is recreation. Now I got a good amount of energy out of that, which is super good. The stupidness Fujina event took away some of it, but that's fine, because that is still more than what I had. And got to remember once more, each mood up is 10% if training effect. So that's really good. Kita's in black on speed, no on stamina, and Windy on power. We have 2 on guts and Nation Flash and wit. So this turn I'm going to do wit. It's not worth doing Kitasan alone, because right here it's only Kitasan. She's completely alone here. Level 4 speed, it's probably going to level up if I do it, but there's no point in wasting the energy right now. The amount of stats gain is fine, but because no one else has showed up on their own training, the speed cards haven't shown up on speed, the stamina cards haven't shown up on stamina, and because it has been happening for multiple turns now, it's super likely that the next time they're going to show up in the rainbow training. So we do wait, just pass the turn, we do Tenosho Autumn, that is mandatory. I have really high chances to win with these stats. I got Steadfast, which is a front runner skill. If I want to build a front runner parent, that is a type of skill that I will get. Right here we see that there is no rainbow again. So what happens? No rainbow means it's even more likely for that card to show up in their own training next turn. No one on speed means it's super likely for speed to be filled up next turn. 3 cards on stamina. It means that it's super likely for them to not show up on stamina next turn. No one on power, 4 on guts. Both stamina cards are here. Gotta keep that in mind because it's very likely for them to show up together now on stamina. No one on wit. So there are 2 things that I can do. I can burn the turn with wit, or I can go race. Oh, the third option would be to do the stamina training with 3 sports, but I don't really care right now because I already have 533 stamina. Even though I would like a little bit more for Ari McKinnon, this is kinda enough to pull it off. Because the biggest issue is that I have B long, so the speed is going to be very important. So I'm just going to burn the turn. I won the QE race, that is an event. So now we see right here, Manhattan Cafe on stamina. I'm actually going to do this train because I want the stamina for Ray McKinnon. I think this is stamina level 5 now. It is. Wonderful mistake. If you go, the bottom option is going to give you Charming. But at this point I already have everyone on orange, so there's no point to go for Charming. However, if you go the top option, it's going to cost you either 15 or 20 energy to get just some skill points. It's not worth it. I go Charming. I value my energy too much right now. No one on stamina. Only Kita-san on speed. So, what do we do? I don't want to go to a race. There's no G1 right now because it's early December. Let me just show you. There's only this dirt one, but I obviously cannot run in dirt. I have G dirt, so that is not even an option. There's the speed training, which would increase the Etsuku bond. It's a rainbow training with Kita-san and so on. It's also probably going to level up the speed training to level 5. However, you have to keep in mind, look at my energy. It is below half. If I do a training right now, the next turn I'm going to have to rest. And next turn is more likely to have better trainings than I have in this turn. Also, the next race is a Ray McKinnon. If I really needed the stats in order to win Ray McKinnon, there will be one thing. But these stats should be enough. So I might as well rest right now, assume that I'm going to win a Ray McKinnon, maybe even if it takes a couple clocks. Because if I win a Ray McKinnon, then I'm going to be having the URA final situation, which is 3 more trainings, 3 more races. So I'd rather be full energy for the 3 upcoming trainings. We just check the skills right here, see if there's anything that I can get. There's nothing useful for my current situation. It is still hell high, but I don't really have enough mid-race skills. I only have Professor, because medium straightaways is not going to activate in a Ray McKinnon. That is a long race. Slipstream, I'll just get the slipstream, I guess, in case I'm not first, because I have B long, which means that my speed is going to be slightly lower. So right here I haven't won a Ray McKinnon either, so I cannot skip. Let's hope that I win right here so that I can be done with this and I can skip going forward. Okay, Lone Wolf on focus. I'm first right now. And there you go. That was enough for me to win a Ray McKinnon. That means that I have access now to the URA segment of the race, of the run, I mean. So, because I rested in the previous turn, now I have full energy bar for the 3 trainings. This means that I can do whatever I want now. Right here I have stamina with 3 cards, no rainbow. I have speed with Asian Flash, which is perfectly fine. And right here, there's something that is worth keeping in mind. After you win a URA race, it doesn't matter if it's quarterfinals, semifinals, or finals, you have you have an event in which you get some free stats. You get some free stats after quarterfinals, some free stats after semifinals, some free stats after the finals as well. And in total, if everything is max bond level, if the bar is maxed out, you can get about 63 of all stats. So I'm guaranteed to finish with 600 stamina here, which gives me access to the 3-star spark chance. So I don't really need to increase it anymore. I already won a Ray McKinnon, which was the last actual stopgap. So I'm going to be prioritizing speed here. I don't think I can get to 1100 speed, but if I can, then I'm going to have a higher chance to get 3-star spark at the end of the run. Another option would be to go full power to try to get 600 power, so that I can also get 3-star power that way. So that is the URA qualifier, and this is the event. The first one is of President. I get plus 13 all stats. This is the second training. It will probably be easier to get power to 600, but I can just hope that I get enough rainbows to get there anyway. I probably won't. That is perfectly fine. So now this is URA semifinals. This is the event after semifinal, which is with Tetsuko. Now there's only one rainbow here. It will only be plus 9 power. This is not going to get me to 600 power. That's perfectly fine. It's also not going to be getting me to 1100 speed. So that's whatever. So I'm just going to do stamina. No real reason, because I don't need it. If I was planning on getting Racing Uma, then it matters a little bit more. But because my goal is just to finish a URA scenario, it's whatever. So I'm just going to skip. We are second right now. Third. And once the unique pops, we just fly. This is what happens usually when you have over 750 speed by the time you reach URA finals. If you actually buy some skill, you're able to win most often than not. So this is the last event. I only get plus 3 all stats because I did not max her out. And I get plus 15 all stats from the President because she was maxed out. So that is something to keep in mind, because getting more stats is always useful. Right here we can see 975 speed, 661 stamina, 562 power. If I had done 2 or 3 more power trainings during the run, then I would have been able to finish with over 600. But it's a bigger priority to be able to actually win the scenario compared to anything else. So right here I go straight away at depth. Let's see what else do we have. I finish up medium straightaways, tail hill high, Tell How High has Slipstream playtime's over. When it comes to team trials, I'm going to run the Iowa as a pacer, I believe. Just depends on the skills. We could go for haste. We do standard one, wet one. We do haste. Actually, instead of haste, let me do preferred position so that I can guarantee the Tell How High situation, because that will be the third skill, I think. Fourth. Murmur will be fine, but I will need to sacrifice something. Up tempo will be really good actually. Let me go up tempo instead of preferred position, which is also slightly cheaper. Which means that I can get the other skill too. Non-standard, and then we finish. I could do shooting for victory actually. If I actually wanna win races. However, I just want more sparks for the parents, because right now I don't have that many options for parents. For now, the only thing that we can do is hope that we get speed or stamina on the spark, so that I have a chance to get 3-star. That is power. I got one star power. Kinda sucks, but it's better than what I had before, which is 1-star wit. Also, I got very good sparks for races. Osaka High gives cuts, which kinda sucks, but it gives standard distance, which is very useful. It has about a 56 chance to get a race standard distance power. And it's speed up power, which is really good as well. Then I got the standard distance spark, the corner depth spark, both, which is speed and stamina. So the race sparks right here are really good. It would just be better in speed or stamina. The power is hard to use super early into an account, but this is pretty good already. So we do edit sim. We have to use her as medium. So let me just use whomever as this. What skill do you have? Going to run her late. Now the new die wall. Front, I think. Yeah. Now, I could do a Bakushin just to push my ranking. I could do an Aurora just to push my ranking. There's no real point. Let's claim reward right now. Okay, there is another temple, so I'm going to do another support card situation. There is an SSR. Let's see what we get. That is King Saiyan Sky. Let's see what are DSRs. Fujikiseki, that is really good. I think that is Limit Break 3. Now this is Limit Break 2 Asian Flash. And now this is Air Groove. I don't know if that's Limit Break 2 or what. Let's do 1 cups. Fujikiseki Limit Break 3, that is really good. That is probably going to be one of my better cards to use, especially for Champions meeting, when I'm actually going to be able to race her. She has Summer Runners, she has Mild Corners, which are super good, super good. And Yield Experience is also very useful. There's Third Groove. Asian Flash with Limit Break 2. Now, I don't know if I'm going to level her up right now, because I also got King Halo earlier today to Limit Break 2. I'll have to check that out. And let's just check Saiyan Sky. Inner Post, it's fine. Long Shot. Long Shot is probably going to be a reliable option for a new account, because it's very unlikely that you're going to be getting a high number in the favorite slots, unless something is really wrong with your lobby. It's a good source of Tell Hell High. Keeping the lead is okay, because she's a front runner after all, but this is only for long, so it's going to be really awkward to use it for CM3, which is a mile. Precious Pay Chasers, it's something that I don't really care about. And the situation with Vanguard Spirit is pretty much the same. It's only for long, so I'm not really gonna use it for Cancer Cup. So the events suck. The skills are fine. So it's an option, but I'm probably not going to use in Sky unless I want to farm event points. So I'm probably gonna have to start using vodka for Breath of Fresh Air. I could use Super Creek for Maestro, but Zero Limit Break Super Creek kinda sucks. It takes forever to get her to Orange Bar when you don't have initial Friendship Gauge stat. So that's iffy. Let's see what else. Hishi Amazon is really good. The only issue is that I actually have Hishi Amazon, so I'm going to be unable to use her whenever I run Hishi Amazon. But for everyone else, that's useful. The main thing is that I'm running a 4-2 deck. 4 speed, 2 stamina, because it's the most reliable way to win your A scenario. If I happen to get a decent amount of sparks for parents, then I can start to change the way the deck works. So I'm just going to have to start using King Halo now. But I think that's going to be pretty much it for now. I'll maybe do some runs off stream, because if I don't have to commentate the runs, then I can just get them in about 20 or 30 minutes. But even so, I will show anything that I run after the stream, then I will showcase during the next stream. No big deal. I have only done, let me check, I think 3 runs so far, but we are